Ladies and gentlemen, tubers and groovers, welcome to this episode of Take the Fear Out of the Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
This is another repair video. Which we know you like. Do you want to explain, Si?
This time it's another wonderful Akai sampler. It's the S1100.
And as usual, what goes on those things?
It's the backlight.
Again, another backlight vid, but you need to see it. You need to know. Just in case you've got that problem at home. Have a little look-see.
Here we are back again in the workshop. This time we've got an Akai S1100. And again we do a bit of restoration on this one. Looks like it needs a good clean for starters, but we'll leave that for the moment. If I switch it on, this one's actually got a really old 80 megabyte hard drive in. But the main problem with this one is, as you can see, the backlight. I can't even read it from here, so the backlight is almost gone, so dim you can't see it. So what we're going to do is, we're going to see if we can change the backlight. Right, I haven't opened up an S1100 before, but it looks pretty much the same as all the rest of the Akai samplers. It looks like we've got 4 screws on each side for the rack ears. Again, 2 screws on each side for the lid, and I should imagine, yep, in the middle there we've got another screw to take off. So I'll do that, we'll get the lid off, and then we'll have a look at the faceplate. Right, so we've got slightly different to the S900. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws here, and I've just had a look on the bottom. We've got 6 screws on the bottom. We will take all those off. Just going to take the 2 knobs off the front here. They're going to have to come off. And yeah, we'll undo those screws and see if we can get the front plate off. Right, we're taking the screws off the top and bottom, so if I just carefully lift this forward, what we've got like a ribbon cable here for the keyboard here, and where these 2 XLR sockets are, there's wires to those, but I think there's a couple of little connectors here, so we should be able to get the connectors out. I don't think I'll have to unplug the connector on the keyboard bit here. I think we might have enough slack just to put it flat, but I definitely have to take the connectors off on these XLR cables, so we'll do that next. So we've got the front faceplate off. I'll just show you here. Here's the faceplate. If we look at the back, to make it easier, where these XLRs are, I've taken off the 2 connectors, and the keyboard, it's just got a connector on the board which just threads through there, so it's easier just to take it off. What we need to do to bring the display forward is just take that screw, that one and that one, and you can see the 2 wires coming through from the inverter. I can see the backlight here. See if we can get either the backlight out or just put the new one over the top. What I've done is then, this was soldered to the old backlight, so I've unclipped that. I've taken the old heat shrink off and just put some heat shrink on there ready, and then this is the new backlight. So it's much easier, the old one's not going to come out, so it's much easier just to slip that in behind, and then I can solder those 2 wires to there, put the heat shrink over, and we're in business. So I'll get the soldering iron out and I'll solder them to the new backlight. Got the 4 screws back on the display. The 2 wires here which we'd cut off from the old backlight, I've soldered them onto the new backlight. I'll put some heat shrink just so they don't touch anything, and then I'll just put a little bit of electrical tape here just to keep the backlight in place. I don't think it's going to slide around. If I push that, it won't go any further that way, so it's in place. The next thing to do is put the faceplate back on. We've got to feed the ribbon cable through here, the other cables through there for the XLRs. Right, we've got the front panel on, giving it a bit of a clean. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on the top, 6 on the bottom. Plugged in the 2 XLR connectors, they're just here and here. The sort of the keys here, there's a ribbon cable behind here just on the main board. And what we'll do now is we'll get the lid on, get the rack ears on, and then switch on, and we will stick her on. Well, that definitely looks a lot brighter. You can adjust the contrast. Yeah, that's working well. And I think it's got a blue backlight in there. I don't know what colour the original ones were, but it's definitely a lot lighter than it was. So the display is looking nice and bright. I just loaded something off the hard drive, and it's quite funny. I'll press the play button.
The ultimate card available from reception now.
It's amazing what you find on old hard drives. So there we go, nice and bright, looking a lot better and a lot cleaner. The S1100.
So, there you go. Again, slide the new screen in front of the old screen. Same as...
It's much less hassle.
Yeah, you just might as well do that rather than, again, same as the other video. Advice is just do that straight away, eh? Don't muck about.
Yeah, and it's not really any point trying to pull out the old one because you could risk damaging something. So as Jay said, just slip it over the top, solder it in, and away you go. And you'll see the difference is amazing, isn't it? You go from completely dark to you can actually see the display.
I'll tell you though, it's one little bit of advice that Miss Chumley didn't mention in any of those videos, which I think we ought to say. When you take that front panel off, which has got your plastic or perspex bit of glass on it, which goes in front of the screen, get yourself a pair of wipes, what you clean your glasses with or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And give it a clean before putting it back on, because, you know, chances are you'll never take that front panel off again, so why not?
So I hope you enjoyed that video, and it's goodbye from me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
And before I say goodbye, don't forget to click the like, the bell and subscribe. It's goodbye from Joseph Bangers here. Take care, guys. See you on the next one.